I'm excited and ready to go to Detroit to join the celebration and support our friends, our Canadian friends, in opening a new Gordie Howe Bridge. We start with a good moisturizing lotion, and then I'm gonna use sunscreen, good sunscreen, so the harmful lights won't penetrate my beautiful skin, and so I don't get orange. Who likes the orange skin? As always, we'll start with the eyeshadow from inner corner to under the brows. Oh, speaking about the orange color, Trump is visiting Detroit also, though for totally different and opposite reason. The good thing is about him visiting Detroit, he's visiting General Motors, and of course their stock went up this morning. So right before getting ready, I sold that stock. So thank you, Mr. President, for manipulating the market today in my favor. This little favor, but nevertheless, obviously it's not even a molecular fraction in the ocean of your billions of dollars that you managed to make in within 18 months of your presidency. I mean, even for the genius, it takes longer to make those kind of money, but this time around you definitely know the tricks, how to use the whole country's money and funnel into your pockets. As your mother would say, don't get bankrupt for the 7th time in your 80 years of life. But I just hope that you don't bankrupt our country this time. The only reason Trump is in Detroit today is to overshadow the historical moment of opening this bridge. Unfortunately, only on the Canadian side. Because of that, given the hard times that Trump gave to Canadians prior to opening this bridge, I can't help myself of thinking that there was some kind of a beautiful deal was going on prior to in order to rename the Gordie Howe Bridge into something more sophisticated, like Trumpidon Bridge, and never happened. So now he's just like that little kid, a jealous little kid, peeking through the keyhole, watching the other kids playing, and having fun outdoors. As you know, our economy is nosediving lately due to your unwise decisions and altogether, and specifically the joining the Israel in their war against Iran, and just like your friend Putin thought that it will be a 3-day war, nobody's gonna notice it, and you're gonna be a winner all of a sudden of the war that nobody knew about it. Well, guess what? Never happens, never will happen. And again, a look at your friend Putin. 4.5 years later, he's losing big. The second army in the world, losing to 22nd army in the world, and they're losing big time. And are you following that at all, or are you just blind and just in total love with this dictator that you want to be also. What is going to happen now is, again, it's up to you. So what is it going to be? Are you going to continue the war? Those 60 days, the Congress allowance is ending, and what are you going to continue to another 60 days of war? And by the way, not even calling the war, calling it like maybe a special operation. So you already announced 18 times the victory over Iran. First you thought it was the over the nuclear facilities. Reminds me Mr. Bush times. Then that didn't work out. Then you change it to changing the regime. That didn't happen. Of course, how would it happen? I mean, what do you know about that culture to begin with? Thinking that culture is, even if you kill the leader or leaders, it's gonna change that cult, Iranian cult. Do you think it's working the way your MAGA cult works? No, of course it's not. The war, by the way, are winning. The war means it's not how much armory you have, it's how much you are willing to sacrifice for, and how long you can withstand the harshness of the war. Your people, how much they willing to survive and support you in this war. Guess what? Those people lived under the pressure and dictatorships all their life. They know how to survive. Unlike Americans, we don't know how to survive in those wars. Our wars always war outside of our country. So now we're gonna continue this war, and that's why you're asking for more money. Our economy, as it is already in a deep shit, and now you asking for more money. So our kids, not only kids, but our grandkids will be paying for your war of your fancy. So what's it gonna be? Are we gonna stay in Hormuz and in that strait and try to get rid of that Iranian prevalence there? How are you gonna do it? Do you have a plan? Or are you just asking for more money and making money in your pocket, and however it's gonna be because you don't care as long as it's going on? It gives you the chance to stay in power. Again, just like your friend and partner Putin. That's his way of doing things. He always starts new war whenever he loses the power, start losing the points and ratings. And what about those soldiers that we just lost? 18 of them so far. This is not, and you don't even admit their loss, and plus over 100 wounded. And because you're saying it's not a war, so those families of those fallen soldiers won't get any benefits and wounded. And that's how you think, and on top of that, you asking more money to continue all of this. So what does it mean? Are we gonna get into the war? You're gonna send our troops, more of our troops. Iranians, just so you know, Iranians just waiting for that. They're gonna invade Kuwait or other countries, allies, our allies, and then before we know it, that's when we're gonna be in fourth war, or third, some say third or fourth World War, because then everybody else will join the you know, the China and Russia will join the other side. You don't have friends anymore to to support you. You made all of your friends as enemies. You betrayed every single friend that you had. America had, that is. Not you particularly, but you betrayed our country, and our friends don't want to do anything with our country now because of you. So what is it going to be now? The only way out of this is to use Ukrainian technology, Ukrainian drones, to fight against the Iranians. And then perhaps the Ukrainians can win the war for you. Then you can be a winner and announce your victory over no war. And that's probably the reason you are lately, just in the last couple of weeks, that you start looking onto Ukraine versus Russia, and given the signs of supporting, but everything is conditional, of course. You change your mind and betrayed so many people that nobody can trust you anymore. But nevertheless, that's the only way to get out of this war, that you put everyone in. And now we're all paying at the grocery shops and stores and gas stations because of your nearsighted vision of getting into the wars and doing everything that you've been doing so far in this a year and a half. So using Ukraine is wise. It would be too wise a decision for you to make. That is, if you wanted to get out of the war. But the thing is that you are really wanted to be in the war, because what that does for you, that you continue to stay in power. And then if the larger scale of war become a reality, then you can actually put the country under the martial law, and then you can just cancel all, or whatever you want to call it. You will find the correct word for it, I'm sure, to stop any elections, because it's all about that, to stay in power as long as you want to stay in power. Otherwise, you know what that's going to be for you. So the best, talking about going back to Canada again, as I'm finishing up my beautification, the best thing you could have done today, you know, besides hiking that GM stock, you could have just go over the bridge, shake hands with Canadians, get rid of those 50% of tariffs that you just implemented, and then your enemies would see that you are back in good relationships with your friends, and it means the whole democratic society is getting stronger and together, and they have no chance to harm us. So, but that would be my wild dream, of course. And oh well, we'll see what happens. Like you said, we'll see what happens. So I'm ready, as ready I can be, putting my life tree earrings, and I'm ready to be part of the history. We'll meet our friends and support our Canadian friends, Canadian people in this historical moment, and be together, and we'll have a good time. So if you want to be part of it, I hope we will have more Americans to support us and to support the good cause. And let's see, yeah, will be nice weather, and we'll have a good time together. So last touch. Am I gonna probably not. Yeah, I'm not gonna use this, so I don't look as scary as those Russian lips. No, I'm not gonna use it. I'm gonna use a nice lip liner, and let's see how it goes. Yeah, that'll look nice. And then a subtle and neutral, natural lip gloss. It's a new one that I just got. So we'll see you there, hopefully, and we'll have some fun. See you there. So I'm ready, but one last thing before I forgot to mention so I just heard about the American Army start testing incoming soldiers for high testosterone, as if it's somehow indicator of high bravery or patriotism. That level, tell me who's agree with me if Mr. President and Pete Hegseth supposed to take that test, so we know they're high level or not. At this point, I'm thinking that I have much higher testosterone than them, but nevertheless, that they have to prove us that they have high enough testosterone and balls to finish this war in Iran, that they started it for nothing, and another war that they can finish or help Ukrainians finish, that they helping Putin now to win in Ukraine. That would be interesting to know. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.